When I first told, at the time she's my fiance, and when I first told her I was going to start the MBA program, she actually got upset with me because she knew that she was coming out here, we were going to get married, and she thought immediately that we weren't going to have any time together during our first year of our marriage. But I talked her into it, and she luckily agreed to let me do it. That was probably my first introduction to marriage and being able to work a compromise. So after I started, I quickly showed her that I could take care of my work, my schoolwork, whether it was at work or at night, in a timely manner. So I would still have plenty of time to spend with her, and I wasn't putting her, behind the MBA program at all. I felt that as far as that, it was easy to work that work-life balance. Then when the kid came along, it got a little tougher. When I got home, it was very tough to find time to study while I was at home. But once again, once Mike talked about it earlier, once we put the baby to bed, then I'd spend an hour or two working on schoolwork, and I found that worked out well for me.
Yeah, I think Tim pointed out something that I would recommend to anyone who's married or has a family that's contemplating this is ask permission and get buy-in. That's what I did. I asked Christy, said, "Hey, I got in. Can I go? What do you think?" I knew that she would say yes. But it was important to kind of to get her on board at the very beginning, so that we're kind of in this together, because it is a time commitment. And if you're asking, especially if you have babies, if you're asking your wife to rush home from work or from school or whatever it is that she's doing 2, 3, maybe even 4, 5 nights a week to be the single parent while you're off, smoking cigars or chatting about strategy or whatever for a project or something. She's got to be on the same page and understand. Hey, look, we're doing this program to get from A to B, and this program is good for both of us. And we just dealt with it. I mean, same schedule that Tim had. I mean, yeah. I would come home on days when I didn't have school, and I would give that time to family, and then I would put them to bed, and I would just stay up until my homework was done. And so I tried to, if anyone got cheated, I tried to cheat my sleep before I cheated anyone else. And, that worked out more or less pretty well, I think.
Another thing, just to add on to that, Mike and I had a different experience too, because we had to go to New York to do our internship. Yeah. So we were both out there in New York while, the wives were here taking care of the babies. So that was another part that we had to compromise on. And, you really do have to get your significant other on board with this program. And once they see what you're learning and what kind of things that you can accomplish out of this program, they're going to buy in. I mean, they saw, our wives saw Mike and I go from being in the military to accomplishing our goals of finding a job on Wall Street. And that's not just going to help out us, that's going to help out our family situation in the future. So you definitely have to get them on board and just show them the benefits of the program. And from there on, it was pretty easy.
Yeah, you can't sit next to these two guys and say any complaints, because we've worked together through most of this process in recruiting and through group projects and whatnot. And from the single perspective, there's no comparison. I can't complain any about impacts on family life or impacts on talking with my friends. It's minor. I went out on Thursday night instead of going out on Friday night when I had Saturday classes. The one thing I did expect, I thought, hey, I'm going back to school, and coming from the Air Force Academy, which is not your normal college environment, I kind of figured I'd be going to frat parties and hanging out, the crazy,
Sean Belushi over here.
Exactly, the crazy college lifestyle. And business school is not exactly like that, but you did meet people from, I have buddies that live up in Hollywood and live in different places, so you get to see the city a little bit more, and had my opportunity to have fun outside of class plenty. But, like I said, not having a family, not being married, I didn't really notice an impact. I maybe made more friends.